Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Nosheen. Y'all already know what time of year it is. Ramadan is literally like 3 days away. If you aren't already planning, getting ready, what are you doing? You need to get started. But even if we plan very meticulously for what we're gonna do and when we're gonna do them, a lot of the time we end up failing and just falling short on our goals. We have way too many responsibilities, way too many different facets of our lives. School, whether you're in high school, middle school, you're in college, maintaining your friendships and spending quality time with your family. Maybe you have a job or you have a younger sibling that you need to take care of. And then on top of all of that, you have your ibadah, your Ramadan goals, doing everything that you wanted to do. That can get a lot, like really fast. It can burn you out before you're even in the second week of Ramadan, and you just feel extremely just done. You don't want to do anything when you shouldn't be feeling like that in this special month, which is why today I'm going to be going over how to balance your life during Ramadan. No matter how busy your schedule is or how many commitments you have, here are a few tips that you can use to hopefully lighten the burden that you have during this month so that you can focus more on your ibadah and building your relationship with God. My credentials, just so y'all know, I'm not a fake. I am currently a junior in college. I'm studying data science. I'm doing my bachelor's and my master's. So I'm taking undergrad courses and grad courses right now. So my workload is kind of heavy. On top of that, I also do social media. Regardless of if you see that as a job or not, to me, it is a job. And I have to put hours aside for that, for editing, recording, even just like thinking of video ideas. So that takes a lot of time. I also live alone, so meal prepping is on that list of responsibilities I have, because if I'm not cooking, I'm not eating. Yeah, those are, I guess, my credentials, the things I'm gonna have to be balancing this Ramadan. So with that in mind, I'm gonna be giving you guys these tips. Scheduling and time blocking. I know this one may seem a little basic, like, duh, why wouldn't I do that? That's like the first thing that comes to mind, but I really want to stress the importance of literally planning your day down to a T. And make sure you have your day planned at least the day before so that you know exactly what you're gonna do and when you're gonna do it. Find a calendar that works best for you. You can literally just use the calendar app on your phone. You can use Google Calendar if that's what you prefer, Outlook, Notion calendar, that's also a really good one. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna schedule in everything. And when I say everything, I quite literally mean everything. Schedule what time you should be in bed by. Schedule what time you're going to start making iftar. Schedule what time you're going to lock in for school, what time you have classes, what time you work. Like, when I say every single thing, I mean every single small thing. Like, I don't care how minuscule it is, I want you to put that in there. And then what I want you to do is add a reminder to every single time block that you have in there, and have it remind you 10 to 15 minutes before so that you know that you have something else to do in a little bit. That way you stay on top of your game, you get a reminder before you have to do something, and it's not just hitting you in your face like, oh, since when did I need to do this? Or, oh my god, the time passed by so fast. And I didn't mention this, but also time block your ibadah. Time block when you're gonna pray, time block when you're gonna read the Quran, when you're going to, I don't know, Quran journal, like whatever it is that is your goals for this Ramadan. Input time into every single day so that you can work towards those goals, because that's honestly the most important part of this month. So make sure that you have at least like 1 hour. If you really have a busy schedule, maybe less, but try to have at least 1 hour where you fully immerse yourself in God and in religion and in doing ibadah, because we don't want to miss out on that aspect. Yes, life gets busy, but we need to remind ourselves why we're here. And that's honestly the whole purpose of this month, to remember the Quran and to increase our worship, because we're here for one reason and one reason only. It's extremely easy to forget that reason, but this month is here for us to remind ourselves, and we should use it to our advantage. That leads me to another thing, schedule in naps. And I say this only if you are a nap person. I know some people, they can't nap. If you're going to sleep, you're going to sleep for like 3-4 hours, maybe the whole entire day. Like, if you're one of those kind of people, please don't nap. Like, you want to use your day to the best of your ability, and not waste any of it. Or if you feel worse after taking a nap, I feel like sometimes, most of the time, honestly, if I take a nap, I wake up and I just feel so much worse than I did before. And it takes a long time for me to readjust and like feel good enough to like actually start doing things. So, not something that I will personally be doing, but if naps help you and you're the type of person that can take like 10-20 minute naps and feel re-energized and go about your day, then definitely schedule those into your calendar. My next tip is reframing Ramadan and what it means. I don't know about you, but I feel like growing up, Ramadan in my family was just a lot of reading Quran, to the point where, at least for me, it was like it burnt me out so fast. Alhamdulillah, like Allahumma barik, my parents, like they're so on their deen and they can do things like that without feeling burnt out. I don't know how they do it, because I honestly just can't. I've tried and it burns me out so quick. And it took me a long time to kind of internalize this, but Ramadan does not mean that you need to do every single thing. Rather, it is more about consistency, especially if you have time constraints, if you have other responsibilities that you need to do. It's honestly better to focus on, at least in my opinion, on your consistency rather than the amount of things that you're doing. Because if you're doing a lot of things one day and then the next day you just fall off, there's no reason to be like, you're not getting a lot out of that. You would be getting a lot more if you're focusing on one thing and you're consistently focusing on that for all of Ramadan. That way, when Ramadan ends, you're more likely to keep that habit in your life, and it's easier to just have it as a daily thing instead of just focusing on like 20 different things. And it's like the next day maybe you're doing like 5 of the things on your goal list. Like, it's not a very good way to go about it. So what I want you to do, and only take this advice if you genuinely like, you know that doing a lot of things is gonna do worse for you than good. If you can do all the things, Allahumma barik, mashallah, like do you for real, like I wish. But if you know that's not going to go well for you, I want you to cut down that list of 100 different goals that you have into 5 or less goals. Narrow down that list of things that you are going to put your time towards. That way, you can put more time focusing on these things and you can become more connected to them. So, for example, if you want to learn the meaning of the Quran, right? Let's just say you focus on surahs that you have memorized already and you recite every single day when you pray. So focusing on learning the tafsir of those surahs is going to be a lot better for you in the long run than focusing on like larger surahs or like any random, places in the Quran. Like, it's more beneficial to you to do it the other way. And that way, going back to our calendar, you can input time blocks for focusing on each of your goals. So let's just say you have 3 different goals. So you can put in time blocks for focusing on each of the 3 goals, whether that's 30 minutes, whether that's an hour, longer, like whatever it is, you're just overall going to have more time to focus on those goals, and you're going to have more time to become better and well-versed, or overall get more out of it than you would if you were like stretching yourself out to 20 different goals. My next tip, and this does sound a little basic again, but commit to what you say you're gonna do. A lot of the time we say we're gonna do things, but we just don't follow through, and this is the month where we need to stop doing that. We need to follow through with what we say we're gonna do. As Ramadan goes by, your motivation level is gonna change. It's gonna go lower and lower and lower. You're gonna feel more tired. You're gonna start having mood changes. I don't know about you, but I feel like during Ramadan my mood definitely does change based off of just like different sleeping habits, sleeping later, waking up earlier, being tired all the time, not having enough food, not drinking enough water. Like, all of it just combined does definitely change my mood. So all of these things combined, it's really going to be important for you to stay hard on that discipline, regardless of how you're feeling in the moment, regardless of what you want to do and what you don't want to do. You need to get up, tell yourself, like, this could be my last Ramadan, honestly. Like, take what you can out of this. This is such a blessed month. You can get so many good deeds, so much hasanat, and we should be taking it to our full advantage, given, like, this is also something that I need to hear. I a lot of the time just like sleep through the day just so I'm not hungry, and I wake up a little bit before I've thought, and then I go down and make myself some food, eat. This is not how we should be living through and spending our time during this blessed month. We should be using every single second that we have to our advantage. Take that opportunity that's in front of you and ride with it. Like, again, this could be your last Ramadan. This could be the last time that you are able to fast and get all these good deeds. Like, fi amanallah, you genuinely don't know. Another thing about staying committed, the more that you tell yourself you're gonna do something and you don't follow through, the more you're gonna have, or I guess the less faith that you're gonna have in yourself. If you keep on following this cycle of not fulfilling your promises to yourself, you're gonna subconsciously start believing that you just can't do things. And once you get into that pattern of not following through and not doing things and just being lazy, it's a very hard cycle to get out of. So to not get ourselves to fall into that cycle, stop it before it happens and follow through. My next tip is to plan your low energy days. It's completely normal to have days throughout Ramadan where you don't have as much energy. So it's important to plan out what you're gonna do on these low energy days so that you can keep pushing through, but you're not doing so much where you're feeling burnt out and like you're pushing yourself to a level where you can't function properly. And it's important to have these low energy days planned out so that when you are having one of them, you can be like, okay, this is my plan for when I am having a low energy day. So you can switch up your schedule and just realign so that you can still get the most out of your day. So for example, let's just say you go to Tarawih every single night. You're having a low energy day. Okay, you can go to the masjid, pray maybe 8 rakat. Or maybe your low energy day is praying at home. Whatever it is, have an alternative so that you're still doing something, but it's not to the point where you're feeling like, oh my god, do I have to do this? I literally just feel like I'm about to pass out right now. Y'all need to be more gentle with yourself, because no one is going to be gentle with you if you aren't being gentle with you. But on that same note, don't let yourself off the hook just because you're being gentle. You can do both and have that balance. Like, it's completely okay to readjust. Rest when you need to, take naps when you need to, sleep in one day if you need to, but scale back up when you're feeling that energy again. One of the biggest things that you can honestly do throughout this month is remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything that you do, whether that is when you're leaving the house to go to work, to go to college, to go to school, whether it's before you eat. Making dua is the best way to remember Allah, and there are so many duas that you can learn literally from just like searching it up on Google that you can recite throughout the day and have that be your remembrance of God. Regardless of if you're working 80-90 hours a week, like, dua is it's a very small but a very powerful way to remember God and to get hasanat throughout this month. You wake up in the morning, say the dua for waking up. Before you eat, say the dua for before you eat. There are duas for everything. Like, I think there's a dua for putting on clothes, leaving the house. There's a dua for when you start the car and you're like traveling to work. There are duas for when you're walking uphill or like upstairs. I don't know if that makes sense. There is also a dua for when you're walking downhill or downstairs. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying when I say that. But point is, there are duas for literally everything, and I think it's extremely beneficial if you look into different duas that you can incorporate into your life, especially again if you have an extremely busy schedule, just so you can remember God throughout those small moments throughout your day. At the end of the day, Ramadan isn't about how aesthetic your routine looks. It's not about how much you romanticize your goals. It's not even about how many goals you have. It's not about proving anything to anyone. It's about intention. It's about discipline and it's about consistency. It's about who you are when there's no one else around to look at you and see what you're doing. It doesn't require you to be perfect. It requires you to put in effort. And that version of yourself that continually puts in that effort to become better, to remember God even in the small moments throughout her day, that is the you that's going to come out of all of this on Eid. That is the you that is going to keep on, inshallah, those habits that you made and turn them into things that you do on a daily outside of this month. That is it for this video. I hope you guys got at least something out of this and it helps you in any way. Please like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Comment down below any other Ramadan related videos that y'all want, or honestly just any kind of videos. I'm always open for suggestions. With that, I love y'all. Mwah, mwah. I'll see you in my next video.